Hello everyone, my name is Carlie Hamilton and today I'm with you for a scrapbook process video. This one is going in my Japan album and I've already selected some papers that I would like to use for this page. I have some basic grey papers and also some My Mind's Eye paper. So I'm just going to, I was thinking about using this plain blue as my background, but then I decided that I much preferred the more interesting My Mind's Eye paper here as the background. My trimmer, which I have now replaced, this one was just getting a bit old and I really needed to replace the blade and the mat on it, but instead I decided to replace the whole trimmer, so I'm looking forward to using that. So now that I've decided to use that My Mind's Eye one as a background, I sort of play around with the papers a little bit and I couldn't work out what it was I wanted to do. I know I didn't want to do same old, same old. So I did have a little browse through Pinterest and that sort of got my creative juices flowing again. And it's not one particular layout, like no one particular layout sort of grabbed my eye, but after having a little bit of a browse, I sort of got, it just got my juices flowing and I just decided that how I wanted the layout to be. And at this stage, I still don't know exactly what I want to do, but I feel like I have more of an idea than I did before. So I've cut out that textured blue card to a square or a square-ish, and I have this other piece of, I think it's 8x8 paper that I want to use, and I was just playing around with it, not really sure what I wanted to do. I decided that I was going to use it down the bottom of the paper there. And finally, for my last piece of paper here, I've decided that I'm going to use it as a mat for my photo, but I think I am going to not cut it completely all the way around, but I'm going to use have a bit left so that it's extended across the page, that paper. So yeah, like that is what I'm trying to say. Now I'm trying to work out where I want to cut this piece of paper. Do I want to have that bit of blue going all the way across to the edge of the page, or do I want to cut it short so it doesn't go all the way to the edge of the page? So while I'm thinking about that, I start sticking things down. So for this page, I decided randomly that I wanted to have some round corners. So I just start cutting, I use my corner rounder to round the corners, and I also just use my scissors there a bit because I hadn't gotten that red piece 100% directly down to like in line with the blue bit. And I also decide that I want to outline all the elements on my page using my black Sharpie there. So I just go around freehand and outline this piece. Now, one thing I wish I'd done was I wish I had thought about rounding the corners just a little bit earlier so that I could round the corners on that photo, but it was too late. I'd already stuck it down with the straight corners. So such is life. You saw me there trying to think about whether I wanted to cut that piece slightly shorter than the edge of the page. It'll go all the way to the edge of the page. And of course, before I did that, before I stuck it down, I went around an outline of the whole entire page. So here I decided that I'm just going to stick it down and I'm going to have this piece go all the way to the side of the page. So I'm going to stick it down, and then once it's stuck down, I'm going to cut it so that the paper doesn't hang over the edge like that. And then I, of course, outline this piece of paper as well. And what I do is I move my arm. I don't like do it from the wrist. I just move my whole arm, so just slide it across my tabletop in order to get a relatively straight line without, lots of little marks. Now, if you've seen any of my process videos before, you know that one thing I do is I have a embellishment center to the left of me. That's that pink thing. It's actually a pink basket full of lots of embellishing supplies, and I like to go through my boxes and that I have inside there and pull out any elements that sort of grab my eye that I think might work on this page. Speaking of this page, as I said before, is in my Japan album. It is actually the first page in my album after the title page, which I haven't done yet. So it is a photo of the inside of the bus that I traveled in to get from the airport to Tokyo. So while it is not exactly the most thrilling photo or technically excellent photo, it is a photo nonetheless, and I wanted to sort of document my first moments in Japan. So I've pulled out a whole heap of embellishments there, and I decide what this page needs is some kind of journaling card. So I pull out my project life stuff, and I've pulled out the red section, and I'm going through the red section trying to find a card that would work as a journaling card for this page. And there's quite a few, so I'm sort of making a pile up the top there of maybes. But in the end, I decide on this red heart card that's got a red heart on it. It's also got like a grid lines on it, and it's super simple, but the red color pretty much perfectly matches the red in my paper, and I think it'll be just perfect. I also like the idea of sticking down this "Are we there yet?" little speech bubble, because again, it's red, so it goes with the page, but after all this traveling through airports and now on a bus, it's sort of like, are we there yet? Are we finally in Tokyo yet? So yeah, I did like that. I pull out all my red stickers, letter stickers. They are all Doodlebug pretty much, and they're all really, really old and have hardly any letters left on them. So I have to think about it a bit on what I want my title to be, or how I'm going to make my title work with the letters that I've got. So while I'm thinking, I stick down my journaling card and do the outlining of the journaling card, just so it fits in with the rest of the page. Now with this big letter sticker here, sheet, I can make Japan work, but I was missing an A, so I think I used a B and just cut off the little tail of the B in order to make the word Japan. And then to get the rest of my title, I use a different sticker sheet, but it is the same color because it is by Doodlebug. These ones do have a bit of glitter on them. I didn't like the little cursive R that are in this set, so after much thinking about how on earth I can make this work, I decided to cut off like the end little tail bit of these cursive R's, and it sort of made them look like I guess like a little normal kind of R. So I did like that. I'm really glad I got that to work. My title for this page, I'm calling it Arrival in Japan. And again, I stick down my stickers and without too much thinking about it, and I don't like where I've placed them, so I rearranged them so that the arrival in is directly above the Japan section of the title. And of course, then I didn't make enough room for them, so I had to move them all over again in order to stick the A down. And it looks like I'm doing it again. So there we go. I've got it to fit in. Lastly, I whacked down the eye dots. For this sticker, I stick it down, but I kind of, even though it's like sort of like a speech bubble, I think it looks better without the little speech bits. So I chop that off before I stick it down and then outline it so that it blends in a bit more with the rest of the page. Now I'm playing around with the embellishments that I've picked out. down the bottom of the page there is a little date label, and I also use a wooden button thing from the Dear Lizzie, her wooden buttons. It's got a 2 in it, and I'm like, this is perfect. It's a 2. It's red, and the number 2 is perfect because the date of my arrival in Japan was the 2nd of August, 2009. So number 2. So I'm very, very glad that it sort of worked with the page, because I'm not very good at just sticking down random 2s and things. And if you've seen any of my recent videos, you know I'm in love with these word tile stickers. So in this case, I stick down the words "Follow your dreams," because it was sort of my dream to go to Japan and like live in another country, and I don't think I would have been satisfied with my life, or would have been able to sort of settle down and be where I am now if I hadn't have lived overseas. I think I would have felt like I was missing out on something in life. So this was me following my dreams. And I'm just sticking the date down there in that little bottom corner. I also outlined the label thing to make coordinate with the rest of the page. So now I'm just going to stick down some red enamel dots and another little button. This button down the very bottom actually is off one of my clothes. You know how you get spare buttons with the clothes you buy? Instead of repairing clothes, I stick it in my scrapbooking collection and end up using them on pages. So I also get out my little journal that I kept at the time, and use that as a reference for what I'm going to journal about. And basically I say pretty much exactly what's in my journal, that the flight over was really noisy because I was up at the back of the plane and the flight attendants were in there clanging things, so I didn't get much sleep at all. But yeah, so then we landed in Narita airport at 6:55 a.m. and we didn't get to leave the airport until 8:45 when our bus arrived. So this is a photo from the bus to Tokyo. And then I stick these little unhappy face and smiley face on the journaling tag, because I thought that was it sort of fit really well. Now the page is pretty much done. I just want to add my finishing touches. So I'm really happy to say that I used up all the red enamel dots off that page. I stuck some in that left hand corner there just to balance out the page a bit more, because it was a bit empty over there and I think it needed something to help direct your eye around the page. And I've got the buttons down and the camera as well. It's just like a little plastic camera that I got in a Freckle Fawn kit. So that is my page done. I am going to now show you a bit of a close-up. I hope you like this page and have gotten something out of it. I'm really excited about this page, and I am glad it's my first page in my album. I really like it. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!